Okay, so you've just gotten your new Riman skincare and you're wondering, what the heck do I do? I know it can look a little overwhelming with all of the steps, but I'm going to walk you through start to finish and what order and how much of each product you're going to need. I'm going to walk you through the entire X line, so from start to finish, all the different products within that. You might have a more simplified version. We might have just started with the essentials, and that's totally fine. Whichever products that I'm using that you don't have, you can just skip that step and move to the next product in the lineup that you do have. Please do not mind my makeup. My kiddo was playing makeover, so we are a little bit extra with the colors, but that's okay. We're going to wash all of this off for the day. First thing that we are going to do is we are going to cleanse this off. I love using the oil purifying cleanser. This is going to help remove all of the extra oils, dirt, grime. It's going to help break down any makeup, even mascara that you have on throughout the day. So this is the perfect first step. So I like to do 3 pumps of this, and we're going to do it on dry skin, and we're just going to massage that on and then just rub it all over. So we're just going to massage this into our skin. I like to do it for probably a good, 30-ish seconds. Make sure you get it on your eyes as well too. And you'll get a feel for how much is the right amount for you. The directions on the back actually say 3 to 4 pumps. I find that 3 is more than enough. If you are not wearing any makeup throughout the day, you could probably get away with 2. And as you can see, this is totally safe on your skin and your eyes. So I've opened my eyes while I'm doing this, and it's totally fine and safe on there. So we're just continually rubbing that in. The more you rub it in, the better. It's just going to really emulsify and work and penetrate into your skin. And even if you have oily skin, don't feel like this is going to make you more oily. It's not. It's actually going to help balance everything out. So if you have oily skin, it's going to help reduce those extra oils. The next step I like to do is actually just wet my hands slightly and then continually rub this. This again is going to help just emulsify it. It's going to kind of make it a little bit more of a milky texture, but it's just going to continue to work that into your skin. And then once you're satisfied with that, then I like to just go over to my sink and splash some water on my face to rinse it off. And then I'm going to use a microfiber cloth to get rid of the excess. Next up in our routine is a double cleanse. It's really important to double cleanse your skin because that first one that we did kind of removed all of the surface level dirt and grime and oils from our face. The double cleanse is where you're actually cleansing your skin itself. So next up, we're going to go in with the Snow Enzyme Cleanser, and I'm just going to take maybe a large pea size amount. So this is a bit of a foaming cleanser, so it looks really, really light there. We're just going to rub this in again on dry skin, and we're just going to massage this all over. It almost kind of has like a shaving cream texture once it gets going. It kind of mousses up and on there. So we're just going to add that on absolutely everywhere. Again, safe around the eyes to use, so you can go nice and close there, go down your neck a little bit, and just rub this in. And then we're just going to let and leave this, so you can kind of see, getting up close, the bubbles are going to kind of pop, for lack of a better word. You're going to feel it kind of start to tingle. The first few times that you use this when your skin is just adjusting, you may find that it takes a little bit longer for the bubbles to pop. And if your skin is wet, it will take longer for the bubbles to pop. So you really do want to do this on dry skin. So I like to just kind of leave this for about a minute while this is happening. They won't fully pop everywhere. They will if you continue to leave it for the full time. But I find like once most of them have popped, then I just go back in there and kind of like reactivate it. And then I'm going to wet my hands and do the same thing. So with just wet hands, go in there and just kind of reactivate again. It's just going to help rub that product all in and get all of that extra bit off. And then I'm going to continue to do this on my eyes and then rinse off in the sink again, the same way that I did with the purifying cleanser, and then use my cloth to wipe off the excess. Okay, so the alternate step to that snow enzyme cleanser, if you got the active cleanup powder about 2 times a week instead of the snow cleanser, you are going to use this one. You do not want to use the two together. I'm going to show you how to use it right now so that you know, but do what I say and not what I do in this situation. But yeah, so this is going to be about 2 times a week. If you are somebody who is more oily, then you could probably use it a couple of more times a week instead of your snow enzyme cleanser. But if you are a drier skin person, 1 to 2 times a week is all you're going to want to do with this. So with the cleanup powder, you do want to do this one on damp skin. So I like to just kind of wet my hands and get my skin a little bit damp. And then we are just going to pour out maybe, what is that, like a dime, nickel size amount. It's a dry powder there. And then again, just getting my hand a little bit wet. I'm going to rub this together and it's going to have a bit of a grainy texture and foam. And then I'm just going to work this in, and that grainy texture will dissolve as you rub it onto your skin. So this is going to actually act as a bit of an exfoliant as well too. So, which is the other reason why we only want to do it a couple of times a week. We don't want to get too abrasive on our skin. But the nice thing with this one, while the granules dissolve, it is not going to be a physical exfoliant the same way where it's going to scratch up your skin. So there we go. So we just have that. And then same thing, I just go under the sink and splash and rinse this off my face. Okay, and then I just use a towel to kind of like pat it dry. Next up, we are going to use the Vieton Oil Mist. This is a really nice hydrating mist. It is super duper fine. You're just going to hold it a couple inches away from your face and we're just going to kind of spray that on. I will say the first, like, you don't really even feel it. It is such a fine mist that you're not going to feel like it went on there, but it will. And it's very nice and hydrating. And next we're going to go in with our Calming Balance Gel. This is the one that's got like some gold flakes in it. So it's going to again be super duper hydrating. I am just going in with about a pea size amount here. A little goes a long way. And then just rub this all over as well. And I like to bring that down the neck. I really love using this one. So when I do my weekly like dermaplaning, I love using this afterwards because I find that, again, the calming just really helps bring down the abrasions and everything that you can kind of activate when you are dermaplaning. But this is just so great and hydrating. Okay, next up, we are going to Boosie Boo. So this is a double stepper here. So this is your Boosie Boo. It's your booster and your serum. So we're going to go in first with our booster, just a couple of sprays on there, and it is just going to go onto your face. And then we're going to go in with this serum. So you're just going to pick up kind of one full pump. So I like to push everything out first from there, put it in, and then release, and it'll pick up a nice full pump worth. And then I just go and do the drops on my skin here. So kind of the 4 quadrants. And then now I'm just gonna rub this in. Again, getting under that eye area, down the neck. I should have done this in a different shirt, but I quite often like to bring this down my chest because our neck and our chest age, we don't generally bring our skincare down here, so it's getting the sun exposure, and this area a lot of the times gets really dry and a little bit crepey as we get older, and it's one of the areas we neglect. So while our skin on our face is looking really good, sometimes this area can kind of show some of those agings that we don't want. So just rubbing that in. Again, you will find as your skin is getting used to it, it might take a little bit longer for it to penetrate and fully soak into your skin, but as you continue to use it, it will soak in a lot faster. So now that that is done, we're gonna booster again. And there we go. And a lot of times I just like to kind of lightly dust this over. So I'm not really rubbing it in. I'm just kind of lightly pulling it on, and then use the extras on your hands. Same thing like our chest and our neck. Our hands really do show our age. So any extra, just bring that down onto your chest, neck, and your hands. The last step that we are going to do, once that is all soaked in, we're going to go in with our Active Cream X. So it comes with a little spatula scoop here. So I'm just going to take out, again, maybe what is that, like a large pea size amount. I find you don't need much with this stuff. And just dollop that on and rub it in again, bringing it down the neck. I don't know where I read somewhere if you go like up, it's supposed to help like with gravity. So I just instinctually bring it up now, and then on, same thing, our chest, and then onto our hands. And I really wish that I had actually taken a before picture of my hands when I started doing this, because I definitely do notice a difference on the texture, the brightness, the elasticity that are in my hands ever since just kind of adding that extra onto there. So, but there you go. There is your X line Riman skincare. So again, like I said, it will not take you as long to do all these steps, because obviously I'm just talking through them to try and help you with everything. When you're doing it yourself, you'll find that this is probably going to be about an 8-minute kind of ritual, but it is one of those things that I love doing every night now. I just feel so good and refreshed with my skin. Everything feels so hydrated, and it is just amazing. So this is something that you can do morning and night. I would recommend, if you're just starting out, just do this at nighttime. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. Sometimes it can take a bit of playing around. The skincare is so potent is not the right word, but because the ingredients are so active in here and they're doing so much good for your skin, if your skin is actually more damaged, sometimes it can take a bit of time for your skin to acclimate to all the goodness that's happening and the cell regeneration that's happening. So you'll find that you might purge, which is where all of the impurities in our skin kind of actually get brought out to the surface. So sometimes it can look worse before it looks better, which I know can be very discouraging, but please, I encourage you, my skin did do it too. But I encourage you to kind of push through. You'll notice that around day 10 is the purging process will happen, and it can last about 10 to 14 days, depending on how bad it is. But I really encourage you to just kind of try to work through that. If you are noticing itchiness or tightness or any of that sort of stuff, reach out to me. Sometimes it can just be a matter of us reducing a couple of steps, or tweaking the order, even though the order that I showed you is the recommended order. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. So I found, for me personally, I dropped one of the Boosie Boos. So I did a Boosie instead. So I just did the booster and the serum, and I didn't do the second booster when my skin was adjusting, and I found that that helps bring it down a little bit more. Or sometimes you can do the cream first and then do the booster and the serum to kind of help give yourself a little bit of an extra barrier before the booster and the serum gets in there. So like I said, if you have any questions at all or are experiencing anything, please reach out to me. That's why I'm here, is to help you throughout this whole process, and I cannot wait to see your skin. Please remember to take before and after pictures, because I think you will be amazed at the difference. And sometimes when we look at ourselves every day, we don't see the difference that it is until like you have it to compare to before and after pictures. But I cannot wait to hear from you, and I hope you have a wonderful night with your ritual.